Okay, like me, sir.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call this meeting of the Ascension Parish Council on August 15th to order. There'll be a little bit different way that we do things tonight. First, we'll have Councilman Cluott lead us in the prayer, and then the colors will be posted by Troop 131 out of Dutchtown and 65 out of Gonzales, and they will lead us in the pledge. If you'll please join me in standing and remaining standing.
In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. Lord, we are blessed to live in a great parish like Ascension. Lord, as tonight sees, we have wonderful and great people as we have an audience full of those tonight, thoroughly involved in family and community, as which a community should be. We ask that you continue this, and we love to see these people here. Lord, it's with a heavy heart that we ask you to look down on the Fauché family of Dutchtown for the loss of Randy Fauché in a tragic lawnmower accident, cousin of Councilman John Cagnalotti. We ask that you keep them in your prayers and look over them and see them through these times when sometimes we ask why, but we have to have faith that God knows and God delivers what he intends. We ask as we enter the heat of the political season that everyone, please, we treat each other with respect. We ask this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Gentlemen, post the color.
Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward, march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, post the ranks. Color guard, return to rank. Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great job. I would like to take just a moment to recognize that Councilman-elect Chase Melanson is in the building, and so we congratulate him. Look forward to serving with him in 2020.
Congratulations, Chase.
And also our State Representative Johnny Berthlot is in the building. Good to have you with us tonight. Thank you very much. Okay. There are only Councilman Dempsey Lambert is not present. There are no chairs additions. I will remind you that the public may sign in to speak on any item on the agenda. You'll have 3 minutes at the appropriate time to speak on that item. I'll remind you that the gray and the green cards are at the podium. There are some rules for public engagement on the back of those cards, and I would ask you to honor that. At this time, item number 5, the presentations. A, certificates of achievement. Eagle Scout Noel Holmes, Eagle Scout Jack Jones, and Eagle Scout Andrew Stacy.
Ascension Parish is proud to present the certificates of achievement to these three gentleman tonight of Troop 65. This is Andrew Stashy. We have Scout Jack Jones and Eagle Scout Noah Holmes. For achievements of the rank of Eagle Scout, the Eagle Scout rank is the highest rank attentively for the Boy Scouts of America. The title of Eagle Scout is held for life, thus gives the rise to the phrase, once an eagle, always an eagle. Thank you very much.
And then we'll get your, look, we're gonna camp.
We
right
ought to
here,
do it over here.
Right over here, and then we're gonna get your individual photos and.
Martin, I'm going to come down there because one of those little Eagle Scouts was eating spaghetti and noodles in my restaurant and butter in my restaurant when he was a little boy. So I'm very, very proud of Andrew.
Chair, you can come down.
You're a scoutmaster.
It's that nourishment from on the half shell that got him to where he is today.
You were an eagle?
I only lasted a week. I don't want to be in front of you because, RJ, why don't you get up?
Any family members want to come up, take a picture, please?
Councilman Turner, can y'all, Turner, can you move in, and gentlemen in the back?
We
There
don't
go.
love each other that much.
Now, can we take some individual photos with the parish president, please, with the gentleman?
Take a fork in the sweet.
And grandparents? Yeah, grandparents too. Come on, come on. You didn't realize what you're getting into there, huh, President?
49.9.
Mr. 49.
You just toss it off the back.
Noodles and butter. Every now and then you can put a shrimp in it. But most of the time, noodles and butter.
We already recognize.
Cute little boys.
Beautiful, thank you, congratulations. That's your hope for the future right there, folks.
These Eagle Scouts are helping build Ascension Parish a lot better, one man at a time.
Item 5B, certificates of recognition, the Louisiana Jaguars basketball team.
Mr. Turner.
Tell everybody about this team. Can we get the members of the team up here as well?
Yeah, we do. Okay.
As long as y'all come up
Get
here.
them one at a time, well, let's just well get them, give out there.
You wouldn't call that? You wouldn't call that?
Y'all come around right here.
Sam and Eva,
Skylar Garrison.
wasn't on the team.
She can't do it.
Can't complain.
Chance James.
In this day and time, if you can't complain, it's last.
Landis Chris.
We are, no doubt. Exactly where I want them, yeah.
Hayden Thodar.
Off my payroll.
Justin Baptiste.
44.
Josh Willis.
And she's a generator.
Jace Gage.
Elijah Haven.
We get married in February. One down there.
Just kidding.
Hayden Wattis. Bryson Williams. Braden Dunn.
All right, guys, first of all, I want to thank all the parents that stuck with us throughout the season. This team that y'all looking at the end of the season, they came up with a motto from the bottom to the top. We started off like 24-1, and they were discouraged. They kept fighting, and they gave everything they had. When we went to nationals, they became a family, and they was very successful, and I'm very proud of them. And I want to thank the parents for allowing me and Coach Travis and our staff the opportunity to coach them. And thank you guys.
Slide down there, John.
There's one.
There we go. There we go.
Colby. Oh, Colby, look, right in the front. All right, can the front group, if y'all all, including President Matasser, everybody shift over about maybe 3 feet this away? Everybody, now that, somebody wants to stand in front of Councilman Thomas, that'll be okay?
Thomas. Turner.
Beautiful, thank you very much.
I got one more on the other side. Item number C, certificates of recognition, Ascension Flight 2006 Girls Soccer.
Girls, y'all want to talk about the season? Say what your name is.
Good evening. My name is Taylor Carty, and I'd like to thank the members of the council and the parish presidents for this amazing recommendation.
My name is Shelby Vowell, and we just wanted to express what an amazing honor it was representing Ascension Parish in the great state of Louisiana in Regionals President's Cup.
My name is Madison Godin, and I'd like to also thank the council as well as our parents, coaches, and family members of each of our players. Without their sacrifice, we would not have been able to achieve what we have. Thank you again for this amazing recognition.
All right, Ada Wagasback. Ava Glover. Devin Hope. Emma Woodring is not here. Evie Forsyth. AC Johnson. Kendall Wagasback. Lillian Oakland. Madeline Oakland. Madison Godan. Mallory Samro. Mallory Sutton. Nita Tomplay. Shelby Vowell. Taylor Cardy. Gabby. And Vivian as well. Coach Bob Forsythe as well, please.
Talk a little bit about the season.
Yeah, this is a U14 soccer team that throughout the last year, they've amassed a record of 25-3, so 25 wins, 3 losses. They played in Louisiana State Cup, which they won, and traveled on to the regionals in Round Rock, Texas, where they faced teams from state winners from other states as well. Amazing accomplishment, amazing group of kids, amazing group of players as well. Extremely proud to be a part of it.
All right, we might have to have some of you kneeling in front. No.
Let's say Mark. Mark.
You can handle this.
Okay, can you come in?
They got a basketball thing.
You want to stand by Lawler, I know.
Yeah.
I want to come up front, take the photo, Sarah. Wait, we got some moms up here want to take pictures. Congratulations.
More times in this meeting than I've do all of it now.
It's a good meeting when you can spend time doing that.
Saturday, go home.
Larry, Coach me. Yeah, I got you. Me too.
Dynamo Gators coming up.
Coach me and Joe.
Item number D, proclamation to proclaim Jason Williams Day in Ascension Parish.
Jason, would you come up, you and your wife? Okay. Whereas Jason Williams was born December 8th, Immaculate Conception, 1973 to Gerald and Cheryl DeOrman Williams, and was welcomed home by his older sister Missy, and whereas Jason Williams graduated from Santa Monica High School in 1992, and whereas Jason Williams played baseball for LSU from 1992 through 1996, with the distinction of the playing on the 2 national championship teams. He finished his career there with a 3.321 batting average, 24 home runs, and 152 RBIs. He still holds the SEC record for the most career runs scored, 270. And he ranks second at all times at LSU at total games played with 266. And whereas Jason Williams was chosen to play on the U.S. Olympic baseball team, and he and his teammates earned a bronze medal in 1996 Olympia Games in Atlanta. And whereas Jason Williams played professional baseball from 1996 until his retirement in 2003, and whereas Jason Williams married to Christine Boudreaux Williams on November 23rd, 2001, and together they have a son, Preston Jason Williams. He also serves as a mentor and inspiration to his nephews, Noah and Jet Williams. And whereas Jason Williams had his Sanamo High School baseball jersey, number 12, retired by the school in 2014, and whereas Jason Williams has joined an elite group of individuals by being elected to the Louisiana State University Athletic Hall of Fame. Now therefore, I, Kenny Matassa, President of Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, by virtue of authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim August 15th, 2019 as Jason Williams Day in Ascension Parish.
I'd like to thank Kenny, all the council members of Ascension Parish, my wife Christine, my son Preston, my mom, dad, and all my family members here. I think I see 3 former coaches, Murphy Payne and Red Loop, and Johnny Berthelot here too. I want to thank y'all too. So thanks to everybody. I'm really glad I can represent Ascension Parish for the LSU Athletic Hall of Fame.
And his proud father is one of our employees, Mr. Glenn.
Come on up here, Gerald.
Gerald, I'm sorry, Gerald.
Come on up here. Let's get the family up here.
Years that I was at LSU, I watched them.
In the background.
Shy like you were. Yeah, shy. Oh, beautiful.
Let those 3 coaches come up here and take a picture with me.
Hartberg, Prof. Glade, Henry Glade.
I think that's it. That's because Travis isn't acting like an adult.
One more. Thank you, folks.
What a great day in Ascension Parish when we can honor so many fine children and young adults. We appreciate all of you being here.
I like that young adult. He's 2 years older than me.
Well, and old guys like Jason Williams. Thank you very much. Mr. President, are you ready to give a report?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
About 4 months ago, Ms. Brenda Roback came to see me about starting some type of recycle program at Lamar Dixon. And I'm going to give you a report on it in the next month, but I just here to tell you we're starting a program in our building, and we're going to do it in all of our buildings for recycling paper, cans, and plastic bottles. When we have large events, and we're going to start this at the Balloon Festival, we're going to do cans and plastic bottles only, but we're gonna have a program that, we have, when we have a big event, we have 50 garbage cans out, and next to the garbage cans is gonna be a recycle deal, and we got it all straight today on how we're gonna do it. And, after the event's over on Monday, DPW is gonna pick it up and put it in our roll-off. And so we're gonna start like that and, try to bring it to all the rest of the parks. I just wanted you to know that, and Melissa Sullivan will be giving you a report on them as we
Thank
do
you.
them.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's a good program. We appreciate that.
Okay, that's what I
Item
got.
number 7, the consent agenda. Cinnamon?
Adoption of July 18, 2019 regular council meeting minutes. Adoption of August 1st, 2019 regular council meeting minutes. Roads for acceptance into the parish maintenance system. Belle Savan subdivision phase 1 and 2A. Belle Savan Avenue, 2,955.21 feet. Belle Journey Avenue, 1,067.24 feet. Belle Rain Drive, 303 feet. Belle Mare Drive, 150 feet. Resolution in support of moving the Ashland-St. Landry Connector Project to construction. Approval to add East Hamilton Street in the city of Gonzales to the 2019 overlay package. Approval of stop sign on Brown Road at Brown Junior Road. Renewal of agreement with Enmon Enterprises LLC doing business as Jana King of Baton Rouge for janitorial services at Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Amendment to the professional services contract with Clean Earth of Alabama for Ascension Parish household materials collection to add an additional $13,000 to the total contract amount for not to exceed amount of $49,796.05. Amendment to master contract for professional services with Centos Corporation to extend the term of the contract through September 30th, 2019. Terms of contract remain the same. Bid items to accept lowest responsive bid as follows. Bituminous mixture for hot application asphalt, Barber Brothers Contracting Company LLC, $50 to $55 per ton. Mosquito control chemicals, Adapco Inc., Scourge, Vectilex, WDG, Clark Mosquito Control Duet, Univar USA, Control 3030, Masterline B, MOXX7-9, BVA-2, Aquabac 200, Vectilex CG, Alstoid Briquettes, Gobert Oil Company, Clear Mineral Oil Gallon Drum, Clear Mineral Oil Tote Drum, galvanized and asphalt coated corrugated metal pipe, Coastal Culvert and Supply Inc., 3M Traffic Control Signs, Materials and Supplies, Vulcan Inc., doing business as Vulcan Signs, corrugated polyethylene pipe, Sherlock Tees, reducing tees and fittings, Core and Main, Ascension Parish Fire District 3 bid, Fire Station 30, Training Room Addition, McLinn Construction LLC, $744,000 base bid, real estate cattle lease bid, a certain tract or parcel of ground lease per acre, Vince Diaz, $22.50 per acre. Proposed ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances, Article 4, Council Procedures, Article 6, Council Procedures, Section 2-100 through 2-101. Approval of Selection Committee recommendation, Louisiana Discharge System, LPDES, Compliance Testing, Curtis Environment Services. Approval of Selection Committee recommendation, CDBG Sewer Program Improvements, Hillaryville, Darrow, and Astroland MB Design Consultants. Approval of Selection Committee recommendation for legal services regarding utility matters, Brazil, Saxe, and Wilson, $49,900. Approval of substantial completion for the Hidden Farms Pump Station Rehabilitation Project. Approval of contract with Bowles Law Firm to assist with utility contracts, $25,000.
Motion.
At this time, does anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda?
Madam Chairwoman.
I'll recognize Mr. Satterley.
Thank you. I'd like to remove N. I believe Mr. Daniel has some comments on that.
Thank you very much. N. Item N has been removed.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members. We're
William,
removing
could we-
item N.
Excuse me, William, could we go ahead and vote on the consent, and then we're going to move item N to number 9A, 9B. If you don't mind, I apologize.
I'll second Councilman Goulart's motion.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda without item N. Any questions? Any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. Committee recommendations. Item 8, Personnel Committee recommendations. Chairman Cagnalati.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first item that the Personnel Committee took up was proposed ordinance to adopt Ascension Parish Animal Services Board bylaws. This,
Got a motion.
Have a motion by Councilman Kluwat, second.
No.
Excuse me. Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by
I'll second that.
Councilman Lawler. Are there any questions? Any objections?
No, Madam Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Sadler.
I don't object in any way, but could we maybe hear what's going to be in these bylaws that we're voting on? So for the public at home.
Absolutely. Mr. Cagnalati, you have them in Novus?
Yes, I do, but the
So-
public doesn't have Novus.
So, well, they certainly will be out there. Do you want us to read the bylaws?
Maybe just highlight,
All right,
like
Mr.
what,
Cagnalati, would you highlight the bylaws, please?
I sure will. Let me pull it up.
And while he's looking for that, I'll mention that 9A is the fiscal year 2019 emergency management with Ms. Martha, and 9B will be the discussion with Mr. Daniels. Not yet, Ms. Martha, I'm just clarifying for everybody's going forward that 9A is one thing, and 9B will be William and the discussion about item number N in the consent agreement. Agenda. Excuse me. Yeah, you ready, Mr. Cagnalati?
Yes. Madam Chairman, the Personnel Committee was charged with forming bylaws for the Ascension Parish Animal Services Board. We changed the name from Animal Control to Animal Services. It was more fitting because they do more than just control animals. They provide a shelter, and they take care of animals, and then they educate the public on how to, best way to raise pets and take care of them. We started out with Article 1, which is a purpose, and that was the Essential Animal Services Board. Hereinafter, the ASB is to provide oversight, management, advice, recommendations, financial and operations reports, and presentations to the Parish Council and administration on matters involving animal services and related issues to the Ascension Parish, Louisiana. Goes on to say that they have fiduciary responsibility and that they ensure that the animal tax dollars are appropriately distributed and spent. There are some restrictions that they must review and approve all contracts in the parish for animal services. They will also review and approve all purchases for equipment, services, and supplies with a greater value than $10,000, and that they will discuss animal matters and make recommendations to the parish on animal care and control issues. They will promote safe and healthy use of public spaces by pets and pet owners, and they will quarterly review animal control ordinances and make appropriate recommendations for amendments to the Finance Committee. Article 2 is a vision and mission. It's pretty well stated that we want, I'll just summarize it by saying that in keeping with the vision, the mission is to balance the health, safety, and welfare needs of the people and animals in Ascension Parish. Article 3 describes the members. We're recommending a 7-member board, and I won't go into the details of those members, but one would be someone from finance, a veterinarian, licensed or retired, who's not under contract with the parish. And then one citizen with expertise in finance, another one who does not fall within the foregoing categories, and then a current parish council member appointed by the council chair. Members shall annually elect from its numbers a chairman, chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, and treasurer. They are encouraged to visit and volunteer at the Ascension Parish Animal Services Shelter on a semi-annual basis in an effort to remain educated and informed on animal services issues. It goes on to state employees of companies or members of organizations involved with animal services under contract with Ascension Parish cannot serve on the Animal Services Board, and that they may request that a committee be removed for cause. That means if they miss 3 meetings, unexcused absences during a single term, they can be asked to resign. The terms of the board members, it's broken down so that it's staggered, so that they'll serve a term of 4 years, with the first member's term expiring after the first 2 years, 3 after 3 years, and then 3 after 4 years. So they'll put them in a stagger, so we have rotating board members. The meetings of the members shall be monthly for the first 12 months, then every other month, unless there is no business to discuss. It goes on to say what items can be placed on the agenda and how they get on the agenda. And that's it.
Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. President.
I just want to thank Councilman Cagnalotti and his committee for all of the long and hard work, and I mean, they did a very good job, I think, and researched a lot. So thank y'all very much.
Mr. President, I agree. In fact, I was going to say the same thing. I want to thank John very much for the effort he put forth to lead his committee to produce this body of work, and we're very grateful. The people of Ascension Parish will be well served by this Animal Service Control Board, and we look forward to seeing the product of their work. Mr. Kluwat.
Yeah, Mr. Cagnalotti, is this an advisory board that financial decisions come to the parish council and major decisions, or?
This board, much like a library board and other boards, they'll have fiduciary responsibility.
Okay, I know you've said that.
It doesn't stipulate exactly what, but that can be worked out so that contracts over $10,000 for equipment, they're going to have to get the approval. They'll bring it to the finance committee, and then it'll have to come to the full council if that's what it calls for.
Yes, Mr. That's not what I understand, but
The contract that is not drawn up yet
right.
will be approved by y'all, and whatever you want that, whatever responsibilities will have to be in the contract. So all of y'all got to say on it, and until the contract's approved, y'all got the whole
Absolutely.
say.
And as I understand it, after that, a
And I mean-
fiduciary board will have responsibility for any amount spent over $10,000.
Whatever y'all put in the contract.
Okay, thank
When do
you
we
very much.
anticipate this contract coming back to us?
The organization has a current contract until the year 20.
Well,
It's my
we're waiting
understanding
for
that
this, and then
The
we'll
current contract
start
is for
working.
operating the shelter only.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be between the administration and the operators and the employees. The parish has employees that are already working in animal services, animal control. So they need to get together and decide who's going to do what, because right now, they just operate the shelter. Our parish employees go out and, round up vicious animals, and then we have another group that bury livestock and large animals. So we need to organize and decide how are we going to operate it going forward. But the reason for getting the board in place is because the money is going to be here in January. And we don't want to come December and not have a way to, who's going to do what, and what board is going to be in control of the taxpayers' dollars when they come in.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Dawson.
Madam Chair, I'm wondering why this is not in an ordinance. I mean, normally we see these formation bylaws as an ordinance in the code of ordinances.
It's a proposed ordinance.
It's a proposed,
Yeah,
okay.
It's a proposed ordinance.
Thank you,
yes, sir.
sorry.
It's okay.
So we have two more bites at this apple before.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And anything the council wants to talk to the commission about that's in there, please do, and we'll, finish conversation before we get into the contract.
Mr. Satterley.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and thank you, John. Good work. Follow-up question on seating of this board. I assume that'll be the responsibility of the Personnel Committee, and when will that begin? Will these individuals be seated pre-2020 or post?
Pre-2020, as soon as we can, we would like to start advertising.
So if these
To
three
seek
things,
applications and resumes to be interviewed and approved, or I should say recommended for the board.
all right, so if we pass the bylaws, the upcoming proposed ordinance that Councilman Dawson's talking about, then the Personnel Committee will advertise for applicants on the board.
Correct. With the Secretary's assistance, they'll
And
advertise
so
for these positions.
I noticed one of the board members is a council chairperson appointed council member. Will that come from the existing council or the one that will be seated in 2020?
I think it needs to be in place prior to 2020, January 1st, so it should come from this council chair.
I would agree, but I'm just trying to get the information out there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for the discussion. I appreciate that very much. Any objections to this proposed ordinance? Hearing none, that motion passes. Mr. Cagnolotti, continue.
Yes. Personnel Committee would like to recommend reappointment of Ms. Donna Whittington to the Library Board for another term.
Motion.
Have a motion by Councilman Johnson, a second by Councilman Kluwat to reappoint Ms. Donna Whittington to.
Library.
Y'all gonna have to tell me, because I
That's right,
can't,
Lambert.
y'all know I don't hear good out of my left ear. So who was, Todd Lambert had the second, and y'all's voices all sound the same unless it gets shrill. And so that is the motion and the second, and are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Appreciate your work. Now, under general business, item 9A, fiscal year 2019 Emergency Management Performance Grant in the amount of $32,847.87. Miss Martha, thank you for being here tonight.
Madam Chairwoman.
Love that
Members
pink.
of the council. This is the 2019 Emergency Management Performance Grant. We're here to ask the Parish Council to approve and accept this award in the amount of $32,847.87, and to authorize the Parish President
Second.
and Ms. Gwen to sign.
I have a motion by Councilman Benny Johnson, a second by Councilman Randy Kluwat. Are there any questions? Any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, item 9B. Mr. Daniel, this is you. Thank you so much, William.
Thank you. I'm sorry I jumped the gun earlier.
That's okay.
I'm kind of excited. I got in Leadership Ascension, and so I'm headed there
Good.
after this. So
It was a great experience, 2007.
I think I learned a lot every day, Mr. President, so this is another opportunity. But anyway, so what I'd like, the reason that I asked Councilman Satterley to pull this item off the amendment, consent agenda was I'd like to amend this contract that was selected by the RFQ committee to $175,000. If you recall, that's the amount of money I originally had in this contract when it was with the previous firm. This contract will be used to evaluate the legal and financial implications of the proposed sewer contract cooperative endeavor agreement by Ascension LLC.
The chair will entertain a motion.
I'll move that we,
Second.
well,
Have a motion
that
by-
we amend the amount to $175,000.
I have a motion by Mr. Dawson, a second by Mr. Kluwat. The chairman of the Utilities Committee has a comment. Mr. Sapp.
Yeah, just for the record, Mr. Daniel, in our discussion, these monies, which were originally intended to Rodell but are now being shifted, and we have an opinion in our packets, gentlemen, and for those that weren't on the Utilities Committee, from legal counsel Neil Parrington, that what we're doing tonight, A, is 100% legal, and B, I had as your promise that this money is exclusively for sewer and for no other purpose.
That is correct,
In the
sir.
beginning, just to be clear, we had some issues about other spending of the money.
This money is exclusively to evaluate the
Second CEA.
the CEA put forth by Ascension Sewer LLC.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any objections?
Can I help?
Mr. Dawson, please.
So I just would like to get, Mr. Parrington, if he doesn't mind, the letter that is attached was really in reference to a previous meeting. I just wanted you to weigh in. I know you had said this privately, but about whether this, that this applies to raising that amount to over 49.9.
Yes, sir, it does. It was the RFQ process. I mean, you followed that's what we met. This is in compliance with your RFQ process. We don't have any problem with the amount because the RFQ process is already been, has been handled.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. Item number 10, Approval of a change order number 1 to the master contract for the Santa Maria Recreation Center Phase 1, demolition and asbestos abatement, additional scope of work to remove the metal ceiling coated with asbestos-containing material, increase of $26,751.69.
Motion.
Good evening, Dean. I have a motion by Councilman Kluwat, a second by Councilman Lawler. Any questions? Any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I know how you love that, Dean. Item number 11, approval of a memorandum of understanding between Baton Rouge Vet Center and Ascension Counseling Center regarding the services provided under readjustment counseling services. Mr. Matassa.
Yes, this is a space we're going to let them use to bring in a counselor for veterans. I was at a meeting today with the parish presidents, and only one of the parish that was there was asked to do the same. So I think it's very, very nice and good for our people in Ascension Parish that we offer this.
Motion.
Absolutely. Have a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, a second by Councilman John Cagnolati. Any questions? Any objections? Hearing none, that passes. Congratulations, Mr. President. I think this is a great program. Appreciate it very much. All right. Item number 12, introduction of ordinances. Introduction of an ordinance to revoke an existing 25-foot drainage servitude running approximately 75 feet from the western boundary of tracts LJG1A1B, owned by Entergy, Louisiana, LLC, tracts LJG1A1A1, LJG2A1A1, A1, A2, A1, and Lot 69A1, owned by Luke Grizaffi, doing business as Ascension Commerce, LLC, and Tract 77A, owned by Brett C. Damon and Damon W. Woods, doing business as Upton and Wood Holdings, LLC, of the former Colonial Sugars property. This has been moved to the council via the Unified Development Code 17-4050B2A.
Motion to introduce.
I have a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert to introduce. Introduction of an ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 5, Drainage, regarding fill.
Move to introduce.
I have a motion to introduce by Mr. Dawson. Thank you. Public hearing of ordinances. Number 14, reading of an ordinance to declare surplus and transfer property currently owned by the Parish of Ascension, known as Freeze Road in Geismar. Mr. Parrington, will you read the ordinance?
To declare surplus property owned by the Parish of Ascension, known as Freeze Road, Geismar, Louisiana, once designated as surplus property, the Parish of Ascension shall sell said surplus property pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 334712 et seq. Whereas the Parish of Ascension owns property more particularly described as Freeze Road right-of-way and described as measuring approximately 40 feet by a depth of 904 feet or 36,100 square feet, and is located in an area designated as an industrial area and not accessible to the public, and is contiguous with the Methanex plant on both sides of the road. Whereas the Ascension Parish Council, through powers granted under the Home Rule Charter, has authority to declare property belonging to the parish as surplus and transfer said property according to law. Whereas it is the high recommendation of the Ascension Parish President that said property be declared surplus and transferred according to law. Whereas this recommendation is based on several factors and considerations, namely, the property described is no longer needed for the purposes for which it was originally purchased. The property continues to deteriorate and lose value due to depreciation and lack of use. The Parish of Ascension must maintain services on the property, including maintenance and insurance costs. The Parish of Ascension remains liable for any injuries or other activities that may occur on the parish-owned property. All other consideration that is normal and routine withholding or owning of immovable property. It is a matter of health, safety, and welfare of the public. The property be sold at private sale because of the proximity to the Methanex plant in Ascension Parish. Whereas Ascension Parish is of the opinion that this property is surplus and no longer needed for public purposes, and that it would be in the public interest to declare said property as surplus and transfer said property according to law. Whereas Ascension Parish is the opinion that in consideration of condition, the properties of value listed is less than $100,000. Therefore, be it ordained that the Ascension Parish Council declares the property described as Freeze Road right-of-way and described as measuring approximately 40 feet by 904 feet or 36,100 square feet is declared surplus and should be sold at cash sale, at private sale to Methanex Waterloo LLC. Further, Be it further ordained that all sales that be conducted as set forth by Louisiana law, including but not limited to the following conditions. 2, following the adoption of the ordinance and all required publications of said ordinance, if no restraining order has been obtained, the parish president is authorized to execute an act of sale in which the parish of Ascension conveys said properties to Methanex Waterloo LLC in consideration for the sum equal to or in excess of $22,000 plus any of the costs associated. However, the parish president shall not execute the act of sale until such certification that the purchaser has certified in writing to the office of the parish president that the purchaser or civil agents has examined the mortgage records, conveyance records, probate and civil suits of the clerk of court of Ascension Parish, and attached to the certification a written list of names and last known addresses of all owners, mortgagees, or other persons who might have a vested contingent interest in the property, who have filed requires for notice as provided by LARS 472261. Said written certification shall contain an indemnification and hold harmless clause by the purchaser in favor of the parish of Ascension, its officers and agents and employees, if the purchaser should fail to request notification to any party or should incorrectly identify or locate any interested party. Purchaser has made written requests to the office of the parish president to notify those persons identified above in accordance with Louisiana Revised Statute 334720.17 and LARS 472261 and has paid the parish a sum of $5 per notice, a sum of $30 per notice per publication requested or supplied by evidence of notice satisfactory to the parish president, and the notice required by Louisiana Revised Statute 334720.17 and LARS 4722.2261 has been made by the purchaser of his agents. Purchase recorded evidence of said notice required by Louisiana Revised Statute 334720.17 and LARS 472261 and the conveyance records of the Ascension Parish and has provided the office of parish president a stamped copy of the evidence on notice. Purchase has certified in writing to the office of the parish president the number of days required by 334720.17 has elapsed since the required notice is made and the attempt of the property has not been redeemed by payment of taxes. Purchase has paid the consideration in the cash sale to the parish, and the cash sale attached has been approved by the office of parish president. Purchase is deposited in the parish of Ascension, the amount required for it to be escrowed. If all the requirements of Section 2 are not completed within 6 months from the date the ordinance is adopted, the parish president's authority to execute the act of cash sale shall cease, and all rights of the purchase of the property shall terminate. The act of cash sale shall be without any warranty or recourse whatsoever, including warranty of title, even for the return or reduction of the purchase price. But the subrogation to all rights of actions of warranty parish of Ascension may have in such sale shall contain such warranty limitations and other provisions as required by the office of the parish president. The parish of Ascension shall reserve all oil, gas, and mineral rights in and to the property to be conveyed, subject to the interest of the original owners and/or vendors of the property, but shall convey the surface rights of said property. Any and all sales of such property shall be subject to any and all servitudes and easements. All properties sold subject to an as-is clause prepared by the parish of Ascension. This ordinance has been submitted to a vote. The vote thereon was as follows.
Open public comment.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to open the public hearing.
Motion to close.
Have a motion and a second to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to move the ordinance by Mr. Cluott and Mr. Satterley. Are there any questions? Any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Have a motion by Councilman Johnson, a second by Councilman Dawson to adjourn. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate all the hard work of the team.